Have you found yourself having either a physical trigger or maybe even an emotional trigger? Sometimes we can have actually both, and that they are actually tied and are linked together. So 90% of our physical problems have physical roots. So I find that very interesting. And once I learned that, it was a lot easier to figure out some of my triggers, either physical or emotional. So I actually use essential oils to help with either a physical or an emotional trigger. And I'll tell you how. So one experience that I've had is with this blend RC. And it's for respiratory congestion. That's what it stands for. And it has about 3 different eucalyptus in here. And I have always had challenges with allergies, with sinuses. And about 3 years ago, I stopped having sinus infections. And so in getting to my triggers, I was able to nip the symptoms going and leading into an infection just by, in my experience, using my RC blend of essential oils. So what I do is I either dab it under my nose as a personal diffuser. When I'm hiking, I can go out and I don't get that dripping nose. I don't get itchy, scratchy eyes or watery eyes. I can use this as my go-to for a trigger, a physical trigger. I can take my peppermint essential oil, which is a single oil, and I can just inhale it, breathe it in, goes into my lungs, and it actually opens up my lungs about 20% more to where I'm feeling that I can breathe better. So this really helps when you are running, when you're walking fast, when you're hiking, and this is my go-to. RC, again, getting back to this one has been amazing for supporting everything respiratory for myself. Again, not having any more sinus infections, being free and clear. For 3 years, I used to get them about twice a year. This has been a lifesaver in my life, especially when I have dealt so much with allergies. And I also have asthma. So getting to that with our physical triggers, I have had a history of asthma to where when I was a child, we had a cat that had babies, a whole litter of babies, and in my drawer, in my dresser drawer, so it's all over my clothes and everything, and we found at that point that I was allergic to cats. I'm also allergic to dogs. So I have gone through the years with not only allergies to cats and dogs, environmental allergies, also food allergies. So a lot of the food allergies I believe I have most definitely grown out of, but I know I have sensitivities like to milk and dairy. I'm also finding sensitivities to gluten. So I am very careful in trying to eliminate most wheat products. And I can also tell you about another product that I have started incorporating into my diet called Einkorn. So look that up, Einkorn, which is a substitute for wheat. It actually has like 14 chromosomes, whereas wheat, which is hybridized, has about 44 chromosomes. So a big difference. Back 100 years ago, we had our wheat that was not genetically modified. It wasn't disturbed. It was just grown on the land, and soil was perfect conditions. And now, things are being done to soil and the process of making wheat, that it is genetically modified, and our bodies are having a hard time digesting wheat. So now what I want to say about this next product is Breathe Again. Breathe Again has been an amazing godsend in my life as well, because it has 4 different eucalyptus as well as peppermint and these other essential oils that are in here. I think copaiba is in here, blue cypress, just lots of good stuff in here. But all you do, and it's a 50-50 blend already made up, okay? And all I do is, to feel relief, I roll it on my chest, okay? And this just totally opens up my airways, just makes me feel so much better. And what I'm noticing is that when I go into someone's home with a cat or a dog, I don't even know that they have a cat or a dog. And in the past, I will, with my asthma, all of a sudden, my lungs will start feeling like they're closing up and I can't breathe. And I've had to have an inhaler. Well, so I don't even know that they have a cat or a dog, okay? I can just all of a sudden start having the symptoms. Well, what I'm noticing that I've been using the oils for about 4 years now, and what I'm noticing is my response to a cat or dog even licking me or being in the same room, I am not having the feeling of my airways closing up, okay? Now this is my experience, call it growing out of allergies or, growing out of my asthmatic symptoms. But in my opinion, I am using these oils so frequently that they have just really, I feel they have expanded my lung capacity, and I'm feeling better when I walk, when I run. I haven't been a runner. I've never liked to run, and it was because of my asthma. And I tell you, because of the oils and how they make me feel and my body systems, I feel like everything just feels like it's flowing better, and my lungs just feel so much more open and free of being able to breathe. And this is really amazing, especially with the dog and the cats, because that's been the one thing that I thought I could not get rid of. I'll never be able to get rid of in my whole entire life. And to have these experiences, 3 or 4 last experiences in the last year, where I'm in a person's home. I've even had to the test where the dog came up to me and licked me. And when you get to be an adult, you are less likely to want to have those consequences. As a kid, you'll do it and then you'll pay for the consequences. As an adult, you just want to stay away. So I said, well, let's just try, because I've been doing so well with being in a home environment with cats or dogs, and I've been not having to reach for my inhaler. I said, okay, let's just see. The dog started licking me, and I didn't even break out. So just incredible, incredible. These oils, they really help support the body in healing itself. So what I want to also tell you is Panaway. So let's give it, for instance, about tying now the physical to the emotional. Panaway is a wonderful blend, and it has things like wintergreen, what else? Heliochrysum and peppermint oil. Okay, so this is amazing. This blend, I can diffuse it, and it has gotten rid of a headache in my experience. So that's helping with the physical, right? So on the other side, it helps with exhaustion, and that would be more of an emotional component, right? So it's really amazing how the oils tie in to the physical and the emotional, okay? Again, 90% of our physical problems have psychological roots, okay? So it's just amazing. So disease in any form, I would say, usually comes from a natural consequence of an unresolved negative feeling that has been from something that's ignored or maybe buried inside of you. You know, when we tend to ignore those feelings and not want to go there again for stirring up those emotions. So let me get to the emotional part. Okay, so I was kind of tying the physical to the emotional. So like lavender here has been another amazing oil for me. So when I'm having an emotional response, 2 in the morning, let's say, I wake up and I feel anxious. I'm having heart palpitations. I'm having sweats, or hot and cold sweats. My heart is racing. If I stand up, I feel like I'm going to faint. You know, all those physical things that are going on, but they're really coming from the emotional component, okay? I can actually sit down, grab my lavender oil, smell it, and within 20 seconds, my body relaxes and I collapse on the bed. That is only when it's coming from an emotional component, okay? If you're having something purely physical going on, your lavender, in my experience, is not going to help. It's all stemming from the emotional, okay? Why do these oils work on the physical and the emotional triggers? When you smell an oil, it goes in through the nose, through the olfactory system, to the brain, to your limbic part of your brain, and that is the seat of our emotions, okay, our memory bank. And you pull from your childhood all these emotions and story and triggers that tie into that particular feeling when you were a child, and all these memories come flooding back to you and a trigger goes off, okay? Well, when you smell something, it pulls all that, okay? And you have an oil that is specific for certain emotional things that are going on with you, okay? Lavender is just known to have the qualities of relaxing and calming the central nervous system. And that's why my lavender is working for me. So one more thing that it could also help with is joy. This is a wonderful blend, and it helps with grief, or it also helps with sadness, or you know, feeling those really low moments. So this helps. What I do is I actually put it in the palm of my hand, give it a swirl, and I go ahead and I put it on my heart. And so within a few seconds, I feel like I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling a little happier, a little bit more complacent, peaceful. So I just have to say, you know, these oils have definitely changed my life, and there are so many ways that they are tying and linking the bridge between physical and emotional states. So I hope that helps you, and ask me any questions. I'm here to support and help you live a life that is less painful, less emotional, and you're living more at peace with yourself and with others.